As soon as you land in Paris, you're gonna need some form of transportation to get to your hotel. And while you're in Paris, whether you're planning on taking a taxi, the metro, book an Uber, or rent a bicycle, there are some rules that every Parisian wish you knew. So in this video, we're gonna tell you the 10 unspoken rules about getting around in Paris. Allez, on y va. The metro in Paris is a great option to get all over the city. It's fast, relatively cheap, and outside of the annoying pickpockets, is a very safe system. However, you need to be ready for a lot of stairs. Now, the major metro stations like Gare du Nord, Les Halles, or Gare de Lyon will have plenty of escalators to get in and out. But the same isn't true with most metro stations. In the Paris metro, every day is like day. The Parisian metro system is not ideal if you have mobility issues or if stairs are a problem for you. And a good alternate is the Parisian bus system, but more on that later in the video. So the unspoken rule about the Paris metro is be ready for stairs, stairs, and more stairs.
A lot of people working in Paris use the metro for their commute. And this is why it's best to avoid the metro during peak hours. In the morning between 7 and 9 a.m. and the afternoon between 4 and 7 p.m., it's going to be super busy and super crowded. And the exception to that would probably be in August, when most Parisians are away on vacation.
Now, for those of you planning on using the metro, I can't recommend enough the Bonjour RATP app for your mobile phone. We often see people in front of the large metro map trying to figure how to get to their next destination. The app will tell you exactly how to get to where you want to go, step by step. Now, let me show you on the app how it looks like going from Gare du Nord to the Arc de Triomphe. I am going from Gare du Nord and I'm going to put Arc de Triomphe. It already knows it. Now it's searching for the best route for me to get from Gare du Nord to the Arc de Triomphe, and boom, there you have it. It says Metro Line 4 to RER A, and it will take me 26 minutes, or Line 2, but let's just do the Line 4. If I click on it, here's what I want you to look like. It's actually giving you all the instructions. The walk you're gonna have from Gare du Nord, then it's telling you how crowded the line is. It's taking you to Les Halles, and then in Les Halles you have to change and take the RER. But it's also telling you a whole bunch of information like the exit right here. It's saying that if you wanna go to the Arc de Triomphe, it's telling you exit number 2, Avenue de Friedland, is the one to take. So when you exit the metro, you don't have to be looking around for which exit. You already know where to go. This app is a lifesaver.
And there are many metro stations that Parisians can avoid if at all possible. And there's good reasons why. The Tuileries station on Line 1 is one of them. They should probably rename it Pickpocket Station, because that's what it's known for. The station is often targeted by pickpockets. The entrances are very narrow, and so is the area where you buy the tickets. Personally, I'd avoid it. Another station to avoid getting on or off is Les Halles. That station is ginormous and the largest in Paris, with over 30 entrances and exits to get in and out. Even me, after living here for 3 years, I'm still confused as to which direction to go. And it's not the safest station, especially after hours. Arc de Triomphe is also on Line 1, and it's crawling with pickpockets too. So just be on guard if you need to use that station. And finally, I would avoid the Amber station in Montmartre if you can. While this looks like a direct route up to the Sacré-Cœur on the top of the hill, the walk up to the top is lined with cheap tourist shops and scammers. As an alternative, I'd use the Blanche or Abbesse station to get to Montmartre.
A great alternative to the metro is the bus. Now, for most Americans, taking the bus would be the last option if nothing else would be available. But buses in Paris are super clean and very efficient. Now, it won't be as fast as the metro to get to where you want to go because of traffic. A trip by bus will take twice as long to the average metro ride, so you need to know that. However, you don't have to deal with all the steps that you will find in the metro, and you'll get the scenic ride instead of being on the ground. And here is a tip for you. Take bus number 69 from the Eiffel Tower all the way to the Père Lachaise on the other side of Paris, and you'll have an amazing ride with a lot of sightseeing for €2.10. And you'll get to see most of the big attractions in Paris.
It's Champ de Mars, right here, Eiffel Tower. And then it goes Invalides. Now it actually goes up top. Musée d'Orsay, which is where we are. And then it goes along the Seine and it goes Notre Dame, right? And then it goes here to, that's Bastille. And line 87 goes from here, which is Orsay, and it goes all along the Seine and again goes to the Bastille. So this is a great route.
If you're looking to hire a private driver or a tour guide or a photographer or someone in Paris to help you have an amazing experience, we put some links to our favorite options in our website, and there's a link in the description below. Check it out, see if it's for you. Another unspoken rule is about whether to take a metro or an RER, and what's the difference? The biggest difference is that the metro has stops every 2 or 3 blocks, while the RER has stops every 10 to 15 blocks. So for some destinations, we'll opt for the RER to get there faster. A perfect example is going from the Arc de Triomphe to Gare de Lyon. You could take line 1 with 12 stops or take the RER A line with 3 stops. Guess which one is faster?
Using a rideshare service like Uber in Paris is a perfectly good option. But there are a few things you need to know. First, the rideshare cars cannot ride in the dedicated bus and taxi lane. So this means that your ride will be as fast as the slow car in front of you. And if you make the mistake to hire an Uber during peak hours, you may be riding for a long time. Also, there is a decent presence of Uber drivers in Paris, but not nearly as much as in the US. So be ready to wait a bit more than you may be accustomed to. We've also heard from people saying that their ride canceled at the last minute or took forever to show up. An alternate that many people rave about is Bolt. So I checked this out in Paris. And another system that we use often is G7, which works just like Uber app, but with real taxis. And because it's a taxi, they can use the taxi lanes. And that is a huge option. This is why the unspoken rule in Paris is probably look at G7 instead of Uber.
When you land in an airport in Paris and you exit the baggage claim area, you will be approached by lots of people offering you a taxi ride to your hotel. Whatever you do, don't take it. It's a 100% chance that this is a fake taxi that will take you in their private car, charge 2 or 3 times more than a regular taxi, and demand cash only. The worst part is that they're unlicensed and uninsured in the event of an accident, and if they have your bags in the trunk and demand cash, they will take you to an ATM machine and hold your bags hostage until they get what they want. We've seen the fake taxis at the airports and in all major train stations in Paris, like Gare du Nord or Gare de Lyon. Now, there's a very simple trick to recognizing who they are. They're soliciting you. Any solicitation for taxi services is a scam. Taxis in Paris line up at the official taxi stand, and the drivers are inside their cars waiting for the next customer, and they will never solicit a rider. So the unspoken rule about taxis, you go to them, don't let them come to you. Those are scams.
As far as I can remember, I've always known to be careful with taxi drivers in Paris. I don't know many Parisians that haven't had an issue with a taxi driver at one point or another, either trying to charge too much or taking an extra long route to get to where you want to go. I know that many of them are honest people trying to earn a living, but I'm always on guard with taxis in Paris. It's important for you to know that they should always use the meter for any rides. The prices to and from the airports are a fixed price, and they must accept credit cards. It's the law. This is also why I use the G7 app, because I won't have to deal with paying by card or having to hear the excuse that their credit card machine doesn't work. By law, they must have a working credit card machine, and the idea of them dropping me off to an ATM machine to retrieve cash is a non-starter for me. So in Paris, the unspoken rule is be a little extra careful.
One of the things that surprised me the most when we got here 3 years ago is the sheer volume of bicycles you see all around Paris. As a matter of fact, the mayor of Paris declared war on cars inside the city limits. And what used to be a 3-car lane is now a 1-car lane with lanes dedicated to bikes and another one for buses and taxis. But you have to be super careful because these bicycle lanes cross over pedestrian lanes, and those guys are flying by. I've heard from more than one person that they almost got hit by a bicycle in Paris. The bikes don't stop. The intersection of Rue de Rivoli and the Boulevard Sebastopol is notorious for tons of bicycles going in all directions. And they have bicycle stations all over the city where you can pick up or drop off a rented bike. It's a funny way to discover Paris and always faster than a bus or taxi. So the unspoken rule here is watch out for bikes in the pedestrian lane.